If you are wanting to interpret intercepts and slope, the big key is paying attention to the units. So if I'm going to find the slope of this line, down 1 over 1, so down 1 over 1. The thing to notice here is it's not exactly down 1 over 1 according to the scale. Down 1 is moving down one value, but moving to the right one is actually, if you look at the scale on the x-axis, is actually a change of 25. So my slope is going to be negative 1 over 25. To interpret the meaning, add in the units. The 1 was the rise, which is the y-axis, so this is gallons in the tank, and the x-axis is the miles driven. If you match up the units, you are just going to write your sentence off of that. So gallons per, 1 gallon per 25 miles driven, and the negative, I need to include that, means I'm using. So using 1 gallon of gas for every 25 miles driven. You want to interpret the numbers you have in the problem. So the y-intercept here is 0, 15. Same idea. If you're looking at interpreting this, put in your units. The x are miles, the y miles driven. This is the gallons of gas in the tank. So for 0 miles, you have 15 gallons of gas in the tank. For the meaning, you could use the direct numbers, but try and maybe make it a little more relevant to the situation in your choice of sentence. So we would say at the beginning of the trip, that takes care of the fact that it's at 0 miles. At the beginning of the trip, there was 15 gallons of gas in the tank. For the x-intercept here, you would have to do a little bit more work because this is not directly on the graph. But if you think that you're going 25 miles for every gallon of gas left, that means for 15 gallons of gas, I would be going 425 miles total. That's where this is going to actually hit. So if you kind of do some predicting, you could work through a little bit slower. But the x-intercept should be 425, 0. So again, match up that this is miles and this is gallons. When you have 425 miles and 0 gallons, what does that mean? That means you can go 425 gallons on a tank before you run out of gas. So you can go 425 miles on a tank, or you could say before running out of gas. Not the way your sentence has to read, but just kind of an example of how you could write that.